Hello, collective, and welcome into OAtarot. That is Original Angel Tarot. And I, behind the camera, am your hostess with the mostest, and you can call me Abra. Today is 11/11, aka a portal day. Full disclosure, these cards you see in front of me are cards I pulled yesterday. I did intend on filming this video then. I, in fact, tried 3 separate times. However, it just wasn't working. The energy was super dense, and the energy is still super dense, but all the same, this feels like an important message to get out. So I am here fighting through whatever sort of external influences are in the ethers or around me or around the collective. And thank you for joining me. For those of you new and old, I do encourage you to like, share, subscribe, do the things. This is going to be probably a longer reading. I'm also going to try and take my time with it, given how nebulous things are and given how important today is, as well as the next couple days. We've got the last full moon before we enter Pluto Aquarius, which is going to be quite substantial, as most likely indicated by this South Node life stats in reverse. We are leaving the karmic stuff in the past. Now, of course, we are still going to have the experience of karma in our lives. It just seems to be a very, very different expression, a higher octave of it, if I may. Before we begin, I'm going to ring my bell to cleanse what energies I possibly can. I encourage you to take some deep breaths, shake out your shoulders, just relax, get yourself centered, and call in your highest self, as I will be doing. I am feeling a lot of anxiety, and I don't think it's mine. I think it is collective. I do also have some downloads from yesterday that I'll be going over. These do seem like they will pertain to the reading, but they could also just be confirmation for some of you. I also want to say that I'm probably going to be doing this reading in 3 different chapters, I guess you could say. A superficial day-to-day reading, a look behind the veil, and then potentially a hidden agenda versus heaven on earth sort of interpretation. So if I do end up doing that, I will put the timestamps down below, but I would encourage you to listen to the whole thing and see what resonates for you. So the first download that came through yesterday was the concept of reaching a seemingly impossible milestone and having a reason to celebrate. My guides really wanted me to specify that these are 2 different circumstances. Like, it's not as if you are celebrating reaching a milestone and that is a singular experience. The easiest example I can give you of this would be if you were a young child who had been diagnosed with a terminal illness and you are only expected to live to, say, age 8. Maybe the number 8 is relevant. I mean, we are in an 8 year, so that's possible. But not only do you live beyond age 8, you make it to age 18. And then you celebrate your 18th birthday. And not only is that a excitement and a coming of age to reach the 18th birthday, that's a celebration in itself, right? But secondly, you weren't supposed to see age 8, let alone this new exciting chapter and independence in your life. So take that as it fits. This could be for you or somebody in your vicinity. There is the concept of deathbed visions. Again, this could apply to you, though I don't think it would. I think this speaks to the karmic individuals, potentially in reference to this mother, and the wisdom card, which is the Hermit in reverse. And I did pull some cards today before I began for further confirmation, and the Hermit came out again in reverse. So this could speak to a mother and a father, or simply the fatal family systems is the term that Spirit had given me. So karmic caregivers. There's the concept of deathbed visions being relevant. So this could be literal or it could be metaphorical. There's an ending of those debts. There's an ushering in of the highest timeline. And sorry, I just wanted to make sure that the camera was still clear. I can't quite see my phone, so if it goes out of focus, I do apologize. Sorry, I need to take a deep breath. And there's a lot of energy clearing as well. One more. Take some deep breaths with me. Why not? Okay. So these ghosts from your past, whether it be family members, lovers, friends, institutions, organizations, or otherwise, they are about to go ghost. And that could mean that someone's actually ghosting you. They could be disappearing off the face of the earth, literally and metaphorically, and people could be actually passing away. That's a message that's been coming through repeatedly, and I feel that to be the case here as well. And I'm hearing some ringing because where we're going, individuals of a certain frequency cannot maintain their frequency. Therefore, they drop lower. And if they drop to a certain level, it renders them redundant in the physical realm. So, if you see people passing away, possibly a mother and a father, mourn them if you wish, but know that it is a natural consequence for how they have behaved. Same applies to friends, associates, what have you. These individuals are most likely acting out and wanting attention. They could be making you believe that they are completely dependent on you, whether that be for emotional support, financial support, comfortability, whatever it may be. It seems as if these individuals or individual, they are losing stability in a lot of senses. This is most likely starting in the tangible realm, so it could speak to the support that they have received in the past. It could speak to their ability to provide for themselves, and then it also does extend up to terminal illnesses, accidents, mishaps, things like that. And all of the reasons I mentioned, seem to be the reason that they want you or someone around you to believe that they are dependent now. And perhaps they are making it seem as if it's your responsibility. This also is just point blank period, a manipulation tactic, of course, as we know. Now, of course, for a lot of these people, it does come from a place of sincere fear of repercussions and a genuine sense of helplessness. But at the end of the day, the motivation is manipulation. The term golly has been coming through for the last almost a week. And yesterday before I began filming, I Googled that, and it is the etymology of it, I'll just say that, means God. It is God. So you could be crying out to God in reverence and respect, and I think others are doing so out of fear or distraught, potentially. The collective is in a Merkaba rider sort of energy, so you are ascending. And I do suspect that for a lot of you, masculines and feminines included, you have, I was going to say willingly, but Spirit was giving me the sense of, no, it wasn't necessarily willingly delayed your ascension. It's as if you never really had informed consent on the path you had chosen because you didn't know the truth of what was happening behind the scenes. So on a surface level, we can say, yes, you chose to stay around people who probably weren't for your highest good, in positions that may have caused more problems than benefits, and this could have been out of the love that you have for these circumstances or people. But I think if you understood the levels of deception occurring behind the scenes or the true reasons for people keeping you in these cycles, you would have chosen differently. So I'm just lighting up more incense. Take that as it fits. Over there. We also have the concept of ascending past grave robbers. And grave robbers speak to the karmics in your life. These are individuals who take things that don't belong to them. And if this relates to the first download I got in relation to somebody who could have potentially been terminally ill, or maybe even at one point viewed as incapable of taking care of themselves, whether that be due to mental or physical health. These could have been people who absolutely wanted you to be fully dependent on them so that they could gain some financial benefit. They could gain sympathy. They could gain access. I'm also getting a feeling of like Munchausen's by proxy, but only take that if that fits. The concept of a pinky promise came up as well. Maybe that's something you or someone in your life has utilized in the past. It could also speak to a promise, whether made in the 3D or in the ethers, between a masculine and a feminine of the divine variety, who have sworn to come together in this iteration of Earth. There's also the concept of an oath to the other side. So that could be similarly related to what I just mentioned. However, the feeling I got off of that was when Spirit said the other side, it was like evil emanations of the other side, or distortion of the underworld energy. So that's it for the downloads. I would encourage you to go grab yourself a snack, a beverage, lay down, do some stretches, whatever you need in this moment. Take care of yourself, right? Because if we can't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anyone else, or at least we shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to have a sip of my beverage, and then we're going to dive into these cards. Okay. So the cards I pulled before coming on camera today are the Five of Cups and the Emperor, and then the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit in reverse. This, in my eyes, speaks to possibly two emanations of a masculine in your life, but it could also reference two separate individuals. The Emperor was giving me head of a cult, coven, congregation, or a fraternity, brotherhood, things of the sort. And the Hermit was giving me somebody who was previously associated with them. I'm hearing some ringing. But it doesn't need to be so extreme if that is not the path that you are on and you know that's not relevant for your life. This could simply be the head of a household. This is somebody who is mourning a loss, as is this one. This Emperor is more so mourning loss of control, it feels. And the masculine, who is represented by, the Hermit, is experiencing not only financial hardship, but a lack of connection to the divine, or they feel as if they are lacking a connection to the divine. That is not actually the case. They just have that perception because the Five of Pentacles, pardon me, the energy is really, really dense right now. Forgive me. The Five of Pentacles is depicted as two people outside of a church, and they're struggling, right? So this masculine Hermit, potentially this one right here, could be somebody who did have a degree of esoteric or otherworldly knowledge, and they mishandled it. This individual is now reflecting on a lover's connection, a divine partnership, twin flame, soulmate sort of union. This is somebody who wants to be hopeful. I see that with the Page of Wands. However, they're feeling out of control. They're feeling as if maybe their bad behavior is being spotlighted, and that is the reason that their divine feminine does not want to have a space in their life. Following the Lovers in reverse, we've got the Ten of Swords, which made two appearances as I was shuffling, and there go the sirens. So this is a complete feeling of defeat, lack of hope, feeling betrayed also specifically. And they're highlighting this one sword in the center that has that man that's flexing on it. I'm not sure if you can see the details. I'm gonna let those finish. Okay. This could have been an individual who allowed their pride to be their downfall. The pride comes before the fall, right? So this is the superficial, everyday expression of these cards. Are we still focused? Mostly, yes. Okay. Continuing on that storyline, I see as if this masculine, who, as I said, does seem to be experiencing some financial hardships, as indicated by that Five of Pentacles, this is their line, okay? This is the Four of Pentacles, indicating a closed heart chakra, which is mirrored by this love card in reverse. These cards came out before this set of cards. This individual has closed off their heart chakra, closed off their intuition, closed off their highest self, because they have chosen a certain path. And the path they chose was wisdom and thought, possibly also favoring a karmic matriarch over the divine feminine. And wisdom and thought are both wonderful things. However, there's no emotion in either. And wisdom is knowledge and action, which says that this is a man, I want to say man specifically, though take it as it fits, who knew better but didn't do better. They had that wisdom, they had that lantern, perhaps that lantern holding the star in reverse says that they did have a divine feminine in their life at one point, and they turned their back to her. That's my divine feminines, and this is the masculines. This could also be a reading that relates to the recent Misled Masculines readings I've done, so you can go check out that playlist if this is resonating for you. Feminines, you can check that out as well. Just know that it'll be vice versa for you, okay? I need to do some more breaths. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. I feel as if the weight of the world is upon me, and perhaps that's how you feel. Perhaps that's how your counterpart feels. Take it as it resonates. As I said, this will be just a go with the flow, take your time, digest the energy sort of reading. So if you need to speed it up, go ahead. I'd rather get the message out correctly than rush through it. So, as I was saying in relation to this masculine, their closed heart chakra has impacted their destiny. It has impacted their divine connection. It has also perhaps impacted how they perceive themselves as well as others, both those karmics around them and those who were the pure emanations of love. You could potentially have a child with this person, or you could be slated to have a child with this person. But the main energy I was getting off of the presence of this child was the creation energy, the heaven on earth, the new world that will be birthed through unions that elevate the frequency of Gaia instead of lowering them as these would. For some of you, this masculine could have also decided to partner with a witch, even if they're not aware that this person's a witch, indicated by the intuition card, somebody who does things in the dark of night. I do get the feeling that this person expresses certain aspects that are similar to you, divine feminines. So maybe outwardly they're, a bit quirky. They have a unique fashion sense. They could be into law of attraction, things like that. It gives me a sense of, if you were to look at this person, you would consider them mildly, is the word I heard, new age. And that could potentially be what attracted this masculine. However, behind the scenes, it does feel as if this person participates in some very karmic-y patterns. indicated by that South Node card. This person could utilize Ouija boards, necromancy, graveyard rituals. Perhaps they have actually utilized some of those tactics in order to drive a wedge between the two of you. And if that's the case, there could also potentially be a mother involved who they are in communication with. And it's giving me like the Black Widow sort of energy with the webs down here. So these two individuals are very similar. I get a sense that this masculine is disconnected from both their mother and their father, whether or not they are actually in their life or not. They could be seeing them every single day. However, it seems as if they have also closed their heart chakra to these people. And they have decided that potentially the one that will receive their love or their admiration or their time will be the person that they think is someone they can trust, which does appear to be that karmic feminine. However, this is just somebody who hasn't been seen as who they are yet. Potentially someone is on that path. And maybe for some of you, if you're further along in this energy, then that means that the heart chakra is now being closed to this person as well. But this masculine has not had their priorities in order. They've been dealing with, yes, the closed heart chakra, yes, the blocked intuition, and also animalistic urges, a need for control, domination. And as I believe I said, they did see themselves as above the divine feminine at one point. And I suspect that's because you operate within the Queen of Water energy. So you could be an intuitive, a mystic, a psychic, a creative, a compassionate individual. And because of this person's wounds, they've seen this as a weakness. They've seen you as a child. Maybe you're actually younger than them, but I think it speaks more to the fact that due to this perversion of knowledge, they think that your naivety represents a lack of ascension. But this is a distorted way of viewing you, as I'm sure you're aware. And that is why we've got the perception card falling beneath the column that represents your union. Because you are a whole lot closer to that truth than they are, right? They've considered themselves not only above you, but above the true perception. Now, my divine feminines. Are we still in focus? Yes. On to you. I see that you could have both your mother and your father in your life to a degree, whether or not you connect with them daily, not really relevant here. They could be at a distance as well. However, both of these individuals are, I want to say, quite karmic, but that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface, it feels. Neither of these individuals, with the love card falling here, ever showed you the tenderness that you deserved. And every child deserves tenderness. But I feel as if you being the Queen of Water and being the divine sweetheart, for lack of a better term, having that childlike innocence in you, regardless of your age, you deserved to be nurtured, held close, kept safe, and stable. And it feels as if both of these parents severely failed you in that. And because of this, you most likely experienced, I wanted to say developed, but I'm not sure why experience came out, developed gifts from a very young age. You could have been left alone a lot. You could have been a fan of daydreaming, journaling, writing stories, playing out in the backyard, mixing up potions and whatnot. You were left to develop your own sense of self completely separate from your caregivers because they gave no care. And this has, of course, as all patterning does, impacted your ability to connect to people. However, Spirit wants me to assure you that you have come a very long way in your journey. And it is not through shortcomings of your own that others have failed you. I do get the sense that a lot of you have dealt with people who may have been participating in hidden practices as well as this masculine has. I say that in relation to this feminine, though, because I said it that way particularly, perhaps this is an individual who did at one point participate in some sort of infringement upon your free will. And I notice the incense is going very strong when I say that, so take that as it fits. If that is the case for you, I want to say in reference to past romantic experiences or potentially even friends or even mentors, I get the feeling as if the karmic masculines in your life, not talking about this one, even if they were karmic to you at one point or are currently still in that energy, these karmics were also potentially in communication. I'm gonna let that one pass. With your mother or matriarchal figure. This is a core wound, a root issue, possibly even the concept of the original sin that has impacted your destiny, has impacted this masculine's destiny. Again, the fatal family systems. I think that a lot of people are very quick to point fingers at absent fathers or abusive fathers, and I'm included in that, absolutely. But we are amiss to allow toxic mothers to evade responsibility for what they've done in regards to the destiny and fate of their children that they at one point held within their bodies. If anything, I would say that's a greater sin than a father who just contributed a handful of DNA, pardon me. Okay, 1 second. The mother is the portal they're wanting me to highlight. And a lot of you came through portals that were perverted, that were, again, supposed to protect you, supposed to put a good head on your shoulders, and supposed to teach you how to be self-assured, self-reliant, self-respected, masculines and feminines alike. But I get the sense that instead of doing those things, this matriarch had more of a need for control over the masculine, possibly over the feminine as well, but they express in different ways. For the masculine energies, it feels more like incestuous, and that could actually speak to CSA, but I'm speaking particularly to emotional incest of the sort. And for the feminine energies, it seems to be a conditioning that was instilled in relation to unhealthy dynamics. So instead of this portal, this mother, this matriarch, showing you how to be in relation to people in a way that is for your betterment, that does respect your inner child, and allows you to maintain a youthful nature throughout your life, even as you grow into old age, there's somebody who possibly demonstrated tolerance for abuse, excused abuse, who tried to confine you, who tried to spy or cross boundaries in some ways. They could have been very cutting with their words, either to you or to others. But I get the sense that if that was the case, it was behind the scenes because they wanted to be seen as loving. If you are dealing with a circumstance in relation to a father, it seems as if this is an individual who could definitely have Masonic ties with the bricks here, right? And the Hermit in reverse. And this person who is scrying in a grove of sorts. It gives me Bohemian Grove energy, and I'm hearing some ringing. This is somebody who could have turned their back on you from a very young age if they were ever present in your life. But they still wanted to maintain your light, keep you contained. Both of these people wanted to keep you contained for different reasons, it feels, though similar intention. The destiny of both the masculine and the feminine has been damaged and delayed due to the lack of love that the masculine has been able to reinstate in their life. My divine feminines, with love falling out here twice, first in reverse and then upright, I see that you overcame the wounds that were inflicted upon you, whether they be from your family of origin, from karmic relationships, from this masculine specifically, whatever the circumstances were. I see that you mastered that transmutation process, and you were most likely willing to pour endlessly into someone who unfortunately saw themselves as above you. This masculine feels cast out from society, possibly, even if they do have a social circle, even if they do have a large family. This is somebody who feels as if they are alone in a graveyard. They feel as if they are a ghost. And they feel that way due to the fact that they have broken that pinky promise with you, Divine Feminine. They were saying that, like, it was supposed to be a clear shot. Like, there was very clear lines as to where this person was supposed to go. And all those paths lead to you. Like, all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead home. And still, this person remains in their karmic cycle. And unfortunately for some of you, if this remains the case in the next couple months, this person, I think, has solidified their path in the lowest timeline. And that will mean that you can't help them. I mean, you can't help them now, other than send them love and light, right? Don't pour from an empty cup, as I said at the beginning of this reading. But I think that they've got, till 2025, and we're currently in November, regardless of when you watch this, take that time frame as you will, to decide whether or not they're going to see themselves as above the one they share a soul with, or if they're going to come into union with the one they were destined for. But that's something that can't happen if they're surrounded by these ghosts of their past, these karmics, if they keep their heart chakra closed, if they focus only on thought instead of action, if they only activate half of their brain, half of their heart, if any at all. This is something that has caused distress to you, as well as the ethers. They're extremely disappointed in this masculine, as well as these karmic family members, friends, whomever. People have taken things too far, and then they took them even further. They all sensed that there's a need to surrender, but very few of them will do so, because pride comes before the fall, right? I want to split the deck and see what we get here. The Six of Cups. Yeah, so Divine Feminines, this is you offering that love to your masculine. And I just split on 10 of Cups in reverse, and they've said, no thank you. This could be a water sign, as indicated obviously by all of the cups. Doesn't have to be. You could also be a water sign. But it just indicates how similar the two of you are. But this one's got kind of orange eyes, right? You've got pink, purple. You have divine sight. This person sees the earthly realm. Even though you are cut from the same cloth, one of you has some spills and some tears on you. And neither of those things are beyond repair unless one chooses to ignore them, in which case the damage grows and grows and grows. And then it begins to rot. The two of you are supposed to be building a new way of relating and new foundations for the world through your love. That is why twin flames, counterparts, and soulmates exist. To show the younger souls on this earth what real love is and how it is expressed. Because a lot of them, a lot of us, did not ever have that emulated. And it's hard to believe in something, it's hard to strive towards something that you don't know exists. So, this union, if the divine had their way, would have came together a long while ago, I think. This could be somebody that you've known for a good while. However, free will is the name of the game in this realm. And if somebody refuses to take their mask of pride, delusion, and for some of you, darkness off, then ultimately, Divine Feminines, I see either you or Spirit choosing to use that sword to cut them off. So if you have a mindset that allows you to believe that this individual can be in your life while still being attached to karmic individuals, then Spirit will be the one doing the mercy kill. However, if you choose to honor your inner child, honor your pure heart, and honor what you deserve for your future, and you are the one to separate yourself, then I feel as if it may actually give this masculine a chance at ascension in the distant future, though I don't want to say that that means they will be coming back to you. They are quite a fallen angel, to be honest, and they may not ever get to where you are in terms of your elevated emotional and spiritual state, due to the pride, due to their inability to see things accurately. So even if you are the one to separate from this person willingly, as much as you might dislike it, please don't wait around for them and think that that means they'll come back to you at some point, because that feels very unlikely. However, I do think that that situation where you are the one doing the mercy kill versus Spirit is the more favorable one, because if this person needs to be removed from your life forcibly, I see it causing a great deal of destruction for this masculine, and perhaps you in the wake as well. And Spirit doesn't want that. So I just pulled out the Four of Swords. They're saying that you've got that sword. Think on it. sleep on it, rest in the house of God, in your highest timeline, in your divine truth. Reflect on how much pain this person has caused you, and understand that they may never wake up from this slumber, but that doesn't make it your responsibility. Okay, I'm going to leave this here and do another reading. That was a heavy one, but thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment, do the things. If you want to book me for personal, join me on Patreon, send me an email, or send me a donation. All are appreciated, and that is down below. Love you lots. Stay safe, stay sexy, stay sane, and stay psychic.